Hey everybody, Steve Burns here. Annette Dragon posted a question on the forum, and it had to do with her portrait where the client or family member had given to her, and they wanted this basket removed completely from the scene. So I'm not sure why the photographer even decided to include a basket in the scene instead of a person. But she was asked to remove it, had a little bit of a tough time understanding some of the procedures and where to start. All right, so what I'm going to do in that is I'm going to show you the workflow and some of the techniques. I'm not going to do it all for you. Actually, that's your job. I'm just going to do a little bit, and then you're going to finish this up, and hopefully you'll consider reposting your results back onto the forum so that we can see how well you've done on it. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to hit my Command or Control Alt or Option Shift N on the keyboard, shortcut for creating a brand new layer. So I'm going to actually work off this layer, but first what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of a drawing to actually decide exactly where my the outline of my leg as well as the outline of the dress should be. So just to help me, I'm going to go ahead and create a nice little red line just outlining the shape of the leg. And it looks to me like the leg starts here, curves down a little bit, and it's a fairly pixelated photograph. It's a JPEG file. So I'm going to do the best that I can in this case. Now let's go over to the dress right over to here. And I'm also seeing the dress hanging and then curving right down here, and then coming in a little bit to represent the folds, other folds in the dress. And it looks as if it's coming in and around and connects here, of course. All right, so I'm going to rename this layer just for tutorial purposes, and we'll call it outline. I'm going to make another layer right below this one. Control or Command and hit the new layer button, and it places another layer. And this is going to be my retouch layer. So I will go ahead and rename this one Retouch. All right, now let's go to work. There's no easy way to do this, no filter that's actually going to give you the results that you want in that. So this is going to be a little bit of just some, paying attention to detail and a little bit of brush work is going to be involved. So I'm going to target the S key on my keyboard, which is going to take me to my stamp tool. And we see it highlight here automatically. Now I'm going to reduce the brush size down to approximately what I need. I'm going to start working on the upper portion of her leg. Alt or Option, I'm going to target this portion of the leg. Now, I'm working in a new layer, so I want to make sure that I'm going to target current layer and below because I really don't want to sample the outline layer right above me. So Alt or Option, and then whenever I say sample, I'm going to sample. That's what I'm doing. I'm holding down Alt or Option, sampling this and painting over it. I'm going to sample this here, paint across. Sample this here, come across this way. So I want to be careful. I want to make sure everything looks accurate. So I'm going to sample an area that's fairly close to the look and feel of the leg. All right, so I'm going to come back. I'm going to bring the mouse a little bit smaller as I'm getting closer to the outline of the leg. Sample this here and start to reestablish it. A little highlight coming across. I'm going to sample this portion, bring it down. Sample again. See, I'm reestablishing. Sample this area. I'm going to make the brush a little bit smaller so that I can start to sculpt the leg. All right. Now I'm going to come right up in here. Sample. So I'm using the sample brush because I want 100% of the texture to be cloned over. I don't want to use any of the spot healing brush tools because what they're doing is they're blending texture. That's not what I want. So if I pull this back a little bit, you get to see we're starting to reestablish the leg. So again, sample right above. I'm lucky to have a little texture right above here. And let's pull this back. And I'm going to turn this off and on, off and on, and it's kind of interesting. And let's turn it on again. And I have a little bit of a darker area. So if I need to sample it, I'm using a Wacom pen. So I highly recommend that is what you need to be using, a Wacom pen. I'm using pressure sensitivity. And I'm using a standard brush, standard soft edge brush under the transfers with the pen pressure for opacity and flow turned on, all right? This gives me a little bit of control. So now I have that 2048 pressure sensitivity available to me here. So if I target this shadow here, I can just gently start to highlight this area. I can gently place it on top. And then what that does is it keeps that a feeling of the shading on this portion. Okay, does that make sense? So as I come down further, sample once again, pressing a little harder on the Wacom pen so that I have a little stronger opacity here, and bring it down. So now we're starting to redefine our leg, reshape it, resculpt it, if you will. Bring it across. There's the shadow. Bring it down across. All right, and pull it on back. So we have the start of the leg. Now, once you finish this leg, you can use it, duplicate it, and then, of course, use your warp tool to kind of mold it to how you think, or as close as you can to the leg on the right-hand side here. Okay, so it's so distorted and pixelated, it's almost very difficult to see what the leg originally looked like. So you're going to have to use your imagination and your artistic skills to make this work. Let's go over here to the dress, the bottom of the dress. I'm going to go ahead and hit the L key for the lasso tool. Let's go ahead and also select a feather of 3 pixels. So I want this to blend correctly. You'll see in just a little bit. I'm going to just take my lasso tool and cut out the shape of this dress or this particular texture. Now I'm going to turn off the top outline temporarily so that I can hold the Command Shift C. So Command C or Control C is copy, and I'll add the modifier Shift, and it will copy everything visible, all layers beneath it. So Command or Control Shift C. Now to put it back into its own layer, just Command or Control V normally. There it is. Hit the V key for Victor on the keyboard, and we have our dress here. So turn on the outline. I'm going to bring it down a little bit and continue to match the other pattern here, looking at the dots here. I can use the arrow keys to nudge things around if I see fit. Now, to shape it, I'm going to simply go to the warp tool, transform warp, and just start to shape the dress so it curves. Pull it out. There we are. Hit enter the keyboard, turn off the top layer. There it is. So we're starting to mold the dress in the direction and the shape that we need. If we pull it on back, the basket is overlapped. It looks like it's overlapping the basket, but eventually the basket is going to be gone completely. Don't forget to go to chromolution.com, my home page here, and I have free tutorials for you. And right over here is a tutorials link, targeted, and they're all organized in categories: beginning, intermediate, advanced. I think you're going to enjoy this. There's even tutorials on the Wacom tablet. If you target this here, I've done all video tutorials. These are all of them. They're no text tutorials. I think video is a much better way to communicate with my viewers. And you target any of these, and Wacom Basics 1 and 2, all the way through some of the property panels and the use of it with specific brushes. Let's go back to home, and don't forget here, right at the top here, we have a couple of free tutorials. Right here, I have it marked as new video. Then we have the Photo Festival, California Photo Festival, October 7th through the 11th. Check this out. I'm going to target this here, and I'm one of the instructors, and you can see I am teaching several classes here, quite a number of these classes. And a lot of this has to do with going beyond your photography to becoming more creative, more artistic. Taking your photography, doing a lot of image compositing, but moving it toward in a direction that's going to be unique to you artistically. Okay, so come through here and check this out. Definitely participate in this. It's a whole week, 7th through the 11th. Now, what I would like to do also is share with you the Death Valley class. So here, let's target this one here. This is a 3.5-day class. I highly recommend you to get involved in this as well. So other photographers taking you out of your home, comfort of your home, into a landscape that's going to inspire you to create. A Photoshop class is included with this. So on the last day, we have a half-day Photoshop class. Check this out. Feel free to email me with any questions, but would love to have you involved. Okay, so hopefully this presentation has helped you to understand a little bit better some of the basic workflows in retouching. And Annette, hopefully this has answered some of your questions. So I look forward to bringing you back more videos in the future as I see people put questions on the forum, on the Facebook forum. I will, go ahead and create a little bit of a video tutorial so that it will communicate more effectively as to the proper way or creative ways to apply Photoshop techniques for your personal end results. I'm Stephen Burns. Enjoy.